of Panasonic. Nice to see you.
You as well.
Thank you. So tell me, where does Panasonic fit in right now in the media and broadcasting industry?
Wow. So normally that's a question for folks that make one or two things. Panasonic fits everywhere. There's almost nothing we don't make, from high-end cameras that are used for the biggest sporting events in the world to PTZs that have a home in corporate events, education, or also giant broadcasting events. We make switchers, I should say, big production switchers like Kairos behind us right now that are used at all levels of application production. We've got automated software that is essentially able to auto-frame your shots when it comes to our PTZs, audio products meant for the education and corporate market. So just about everywhere is the quick answer.
Very good. And so what are you currently showcasing, highlighting here at NAB?
So a phalanx of products here at the show floor. It'd take you a while to go through it all, but the newest kids on the block, if you want to go that way. The UCX100 is the newest studio camera, the top dog flagship that we have. Lots of cool capabilities of it, most notably the fact it has filtration capability to help mitigate moire, because everybody wants to shoot video walls these days in just about every level of production. We've also got 2110 redundancy built into the camera head itself, so you can have a camera head without a CCU and be fully redundant in the 2110 world. Again, a big trend in the business is 2110. Switching behind us, no pun intended, to our switchers, Kairos. I like to joke that most switchers are sort of like a car. What they do 5 years after you bought it, it's the same thing they do the day you bought it. But Kairos constantly evolves. It's always getting new features and capabilities. So it addresses those video walls we talked about before, so you can have multiple aspect ratios, unusual screen sizes and configurations, and Kairos can drive that while also being a conventional switcher. But because people come to it and say it does such a nice job of driving that wall, sometimes people have 12-bit content, well beyond what broadcast does. Sometimes you've got 444, again, beyond the scope of broadcast. It has to do that while also doing broadcast. So that 12-bit 444 concept for high-end video walls is something they can do while simultaneously switching in the regular 10-bit world of broadcasts. So that's one of its many new features. HTML5 graphical support is also part of the software we're showing here at NAB. Again, a huge trend, and we have the ability to integrate that because it's really an IP-based or IP-centric switcher. And then just behind us over that way, the connected conference room showing how a ceiling-mounted microphone with multiple people in the room can be configured in such a way that cameras at all different locations without a single operator will now know where to go, what shots to frame up, and then in fact it can actually control the switcher. So speaking again of switchers, it can act as a control panel to tell the switcher what camera to go to, what preset to call up based on who's speaking around a big conference room, in a classroom, those kinds of things. And the media production suite, or MPS as we call it, also just down the way here, it's showing AI keying, so chroma keyless keying is one of its many capabilities, but advanced auto framing, so you're not just tracking a person, but you're creating a pleasing looking shot, what we consider a traditional shot, in again an automated fashion. So you want to produce a high-end show, even though you may not be doing a big broadcast event. So that's the product for you, because again, we'll create those pleasing looking shots from a myriad of different cameras. So you think you've got operators, when in fact it's just the cool capabilities of the camera. In many cases, builds into the camera itself. So just about everything here, every zone has a new product, a new thing, all based on trends that we find in the business.
Absolutely, and that actually is part of my next question is, how are your products keeping up with, how do they address the current trends, challenges?
So it's one of the great things about being Panasonic is that we integrate new features based on the trends that we foresee ourselves, but also what our most important asset our customers are telling us. So they say we're going to need to do this in the future. We're looking towards this kind of a production. We're going to need to have this kind of quality or capability. Can you make that for us? And so what we're talking about on the show floor is a direct result of what people have been asking us for. So we like to think that we're ahead of the trends, or kind of doing that, because the biggest customers in the world that we work with are telling us what's going to happen and what they're going to need. So those trends ultimately relate to, let's say, one of two major categories. Great quality in the broadcast world, we need to take it up a notch, hence the 444, the 12-bit concept for the walls. We want to produce a high-end show with the least amount of man or person power, if you will, to essentially run those shows. And again, the automation that would go with that. And we need to produce high-quality shows. We've got operators to do that, but we can't have them be bogged down in the complexities of essentially the drudgery of running a switcher, for example. So Kairos has a ton of features where you can create a portrait-based version of your show for people to watch on their mobile devices, and you can create the traditional landscape, the 16:9 version that you would watch at home, but doing it with one operator, automated automated so you can produce 2 perfect shows with 1 person, as opposed to having to have 2 different people doing essentially the exact same thing, just slightly different. That's not a cost-effective way to address the needs of your audiences. So all those things are really the tip of the iceberg in terms of the trends that we're addressing here at Panasonic.
You've kind of already mentioned, but how would you say your products stand out amongst the others?
For the most part, great question. Based on the idea of, number one, the price point meets the need for people who want to produce high-end production, but also we want to take it up a notch in every category. So people come to us and say, I may not have the biggest amount of money, for the biggest broadcast in the world, but I want to produce the shows that they produce. I want the quality, the production value that they have. So that's the sweet spot of where Panasonic comes in. We meet the budget, but we also exceed the expectations no matter what it is they want to do.
Absolutely. And any partnerships, collaborations you can speak on?
So lots of collaborations. Even though we make just about everything, no company in the world literally makes every single product. So as a result, we want to partner with people. We want to make sure that our technology is integrated with them. There's countless examples of people who say, my product is this close, and I need your PTZ camera, for example, to do that. How can we make it work? How can we do this? And so we work with our engineering teams here in the U.S. That's part of my role at Panasonic and in Japan. And we get that collaboration going so we can have, even though it's a company that might make something that we make, we want them to be happy with our products and the application because it's all about the customer. The customer chooses a certain combination of products. We want to make them happy or as happy as we possibly can. And most of the time we can come through for them. That happens in every level of PTZ controllers, larger automation environments. It happens when it comes to the idea of integrating our switchers, like I said, with HTML graphics, to HTML5 graphics to be precise. It happens when we talk about video wall reproduction and filtration built in. All those kinds of things are based on that relationship we have with dozens of other manufacturers, in some cases even competitors, to again achieve the goals that our customers have.
And how about future innovations, developments? What's next?
So there's always something next to Panasonic. That's the cool thing. There's a version of a camera that we've got coming up. So the UCX camera, we mentioned before, the new flagship, the top dog, the biggest and best and nicest imager we've ever had in a product from a studio camera perspective. Customers already coming to us saying, this is fantastic, but now I need it this big, not this big. So there's a box camera version that we've got under glass, if you will, that you can see that allows us to have, again, that quality, that functionality, the 2110, redundancy, all of that kind of stuff is now in a form factor that basically fits in the palm of your hand. So quite an engineering achievement to be able to produce that. That's just one example of the things that are on the horizon. But, of course, here at the show, we're focused on what we've got available right now. We always want to give customers a look about the kinds of things that we're bringing to the market, not just months from now, but even years from now in some cases.
Absolutely. So if you're here at the show, come by, give it a glance, check out their website, their socials, all the things. Or again, if you are here live, like we are, check out their booth. Thank you so much.
Thanks for your time. Appreciate you coming by.